pop culture, with DJs and graffiti art are expressed every day within the inner cities of America and the world. You are not doing hip-hop, you are hip-hop.
Oh man, it's Friday. It is Friday and I have been just a little busy getting myself together for a lot of creative projects. So I believe I have been focused, but because I am also, it's the end of the month and I typically purge at the beginning of the month and the end of the month, I found myself going down memory lane, which brings us here today to talk about Swedish Death Cleaning. I have another conversation laced in there, so I will say that. But oh man, if you have never watched me before, let me say this. This year, the focus, the message, the consistent message will be protecting your peace, right? Protecting your space. And so get used to hearing these kinds of messages. So before I do all of that, I want to remind people that, girl, listen, we're on Amazon Music, Spotify. We're also on iHeartRadio. And in a few weeks, we'll be back on Indie Soup Media. We got to bring it back. We had to take a break. As creatives, we had to take a break because we had so much going on, like so much. So before I get myself, because I'm going to start talking because I'm looking at some stuff, let me go ahead and play this intro music and we're going to jump into it. Good afternoon. Welcome to Guuuuurl Listen. I am Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jack. This is streaming live to LinkedIn and Facebook. So welcome. Hello to all of you. Happy Friday afternoon. It's the weekend. And if you're watching it in the replay, hello to you too. Would love to know where you're tuning in from because it's just that the first month is over already. It feels like yesterday that we just got started. It feels like it. Now, before I go too far, because you know how I am feeling extremely pinkish today. Clearly, I haven't done rose-colored glasses since high school, and they were actually round in shape. Haven't done rose-colored glasses since high school, but obviously I felt the need to bring some things back. So where was I? Hello, Glitz Optical. Went out, got myself a little something. As a matter of fact, I don't know when you're going to watch this, but right now they are doing a buy one, get one half off on your prescription. And they just brought in their spring collection. There was an orange pear that was to die for. Now I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I do believe this may be the year that we flip over to bifocals. So that just means I got to put lenses back into all the frames. So I need to slow myself down. So we're probably not going to get anything, but what can I tell you? But before we go too far, let's say hello to some people. My mom is here, of course. Mother is here. So shout out to Mother. Jessica is in the building. Shout out to you as well. And before I forget, make sure, if you enjoy this content, like, share, and subscribe. Because, we do good things here. We are good for the soul. I do want to say that. We are good for the soul. So I was saying before, I am in the midst. I'm always purging. But now I'm at a place of Swedish Death Cleaning. And so I want to talk today about how Swedish Death Cleaning, how it can improve your life. It can transform your life. It can force you to be more present. And personally, I find that people get caught up in everything else, but probably what we should, I shouldn't say should, because should puts my own, beliefs on other people. But we miss the moment because we're so caught up in collecting things and holding on to things that we miss the moment. We miss it. So let me just give you a quick synopsis of Swedish Death Cleaning. And if you have lost any loved ones recently, sending you true condolences. The grieving process is a long one. The sooner you wrap your arms around mortality and realize that death is not the end, but the beginning, I believe you'll be in a better place. I mean, that's where I stand with mine. I am not fearful of death. I don't fear it. I do recognize the everyday blessing to live in ignorance of when it's my day and my time. I mean, think about it really quick. Side note. If you knew that you were going to expire tomorrow, what would you do differently? Right? Some people would probably go out and do all the things, right? Live it up. And then some others may be paralyzed. So when you remove not knowing when your time is, then it becomes a matter of, well, let me plan for 5 years, 10 years. Let me do X, Y, Z. But you also, if you're not careful, you miss out on what's happening. You decide not to call your friend because I can do it tomorrow or I'll see them next week, right? You go out with people, but you're tied up into your technology and you miss out on having these great conversations. So think about how you are showing up every single day right now. How are you showing up? Are you really in the present? Now, put that aside. Let me get back to my focus, the Swedish Death Cleaning, which pretty much says declutter your home so that your loved ones don't have to deal with you and all of your foolishness when you expire, right? Because again, I look around my home and I have some stuff in this house. I don't even know where it needs to go. I don't know. I got to figure it out. And this goes beyond the whole idea of having your affairs in order, like your papers, your will, power of attorney. Like it goes beyond that. This says, hey, let me get rid of these things that are just collecting dust on the shelf and let me give them to somebody else, either in my family or not, so that they can enjoy it now. And then I can keep what really matters to me and be present because I don't have all this stuff hanging around. We're going to get into it. Before we go too far, hey, shout out to Mr. Foster. He is here. We've got Black Eighth Element in the building. Hello to you. And of course, he's saying hello to his mama because that's what good sons do. Let's start off with our first thing right now. Just to give you some of the things that is good for. One, we are talking about decluttering your home. Declutter. So I'm going to be honest. I'm going to show you guys really quick. So this is a box. Because when I say I purge every month, twice. Beginning of the month, end of the month. So yes, tomorrow being the 1st of February, I'm going to do it again. But I got this box. And the things I found in this box, let me tell you really quick. So here's what's cool about, I don't want to say being a memory hoarder, but let's talk about the things we do keep, right? Because this is just one of a box of memories that I have. I found my phone. I found my Palm Treo. Now, a sister thought she was big stuff when she moved back to New York with her first big time, full-time job. And I was doing all of my reports on my little Palm Treo. I can't believe how this sucker is tiny. Okay. Like it is petite. We actually typed on these things. And this screen, I'm not surprised that my vision is what it is today. Because this is a really small screen. Like it's petite. Now, I will say this. I still have the photos from this phone. I'm a photographer. Don't judge me. Okay. I still have the photos from this phone, but I thought, Now, why do I have it? Let's just go there. Why do we still have this? Because I don't know. I mean, in terms of looking at technology, right? Like, you get to tell your kids, remember when this is what we used back in the day. Well, actually, I kept a quarter and a dime on me so I could use the payphone. But that's for another conversation. Hey, shout out to Dr. Tachi, who is here. Everybody's giving their their hellos, their salutations. I see it. Oh, you know what? Like I said, I'm feeling very pinkish right now. Feeling very pinkish. Because, I might just do that whole wardrobe thing. I mean, it's a thing. And yes, the palm trail, right? I don't know what's supposed to happen with all this, but let me continue. Because like I said, I was getting into this box today. I found a button from my cousin when they were going to the Super Bowl, the very first time he went Super Bowl. He was a rookie. His rookie year played with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They went to the Super Bowl. It came to here in, we'll say Dallas, although it's really Arlington, but they played at A&T Stadium and he got hurt in the first quarter. They didn't win. I mean, he did get a ring later on, but he didn't win. And I thought, But again, we keep these memories and we're holding on to this stuff. And after we leave here, what does our family do with all of these? Because these are our memories. These are our memories. They have nothing to do with anybody else. These are our memories. And so I'm asking myself, what do we do with this afterwards? Like, I don't know. We got to ask ourselves that, right? So that's the whole point of starting to go through this stuff. And here's the deal, just start. I know for some people, death is a scary topic. Now, everybody has their own feeling about death. I've already told you, I don't have that feeling. And I understand that we live forever through our loved ones and through stories and the impact, right? Our wake that we leave on the world. That's how you live forever. So I don't have that. Do I ever want to see a day where I don't have my siblings, my mama, my husband, my niece, nephews? I don't, but I know that day is going to come, right? But I will see them again. That's my belief. So I don't have the fear of, I just can't believe, no. Which is why I'm going through all of my foolishness today. So that when I go, my husband or whomever has to deal with my stuff doesn't have to deal with my stuff. So I got a box. Hold up really quick. I got a box. I got this box as a gift in high school from Lane Furniture. And Lane did this cedar-like furniture. It's a cedar box. It needs to be scented again. But this box was given to us from Finger Furniture. They are no longer in business. I actually worked with them for a hot minute before I got fired for writing that argumentative letter. My mom will tell you. It was it was not what she expected. She's like, oh Lord, my child and got herself fired. Yes, because Gwendolyn will say some things. We've been fighting for the underdog for a very long time. I had a BlackBerry, but you know what? I traded in my BlackBerry. I had a BlackBerry Pearl. I traded in though to get that Samsung, but that's a different conversation. She said, oh, I still have my BlackBerry and her pink Motorola. What? See, I don't know why we're holding on to this technology. I guess it's like nostalgia, right? Like we do like to go down memory lane. There's another palm trail. Yes, Ron had the palm trail. And shout out to David, who is here. Yeah, you know what? The unknowns are unknown. Let me go, you know what, real quick. Let me go back to this really quick. The unknowns are unknown. Here's my take on it. And you will hear me say this 5,000 times this year, more than likely. Fear is a wonderful drug to sell to people. It is, right? Like there's the boogeyman, and there is, well, what if you're hiking in the mountain by yourself and you fall and no one knows you're out there and you can't call anybody? Then, or I've fallen and can't get up. Fear has been around for a while. And it's an amazing way to sell things to people that they probably don't need, but whatever. However, think about what you can and can't control. We don't control what happens out there. We can control how we respond to it. There are so many people living in fear that they don't even live. They're just, I don't know, here, existing, right? We have to get beyond fear. In my opinion, get beyond fear. Start getting out there. Start living your dreams. We don't know when our day is, and that's a blessing. And because I don't know when my day is, I get up every morning. I look to impact more people. I look to live out my dreams and fulfill my joys and aspirations and do all the things that the good Lord put me here to do. I'm still here for a reason. I have not completed my task yet. So therefore, I'm going to go out there and do it. I'm not worried about the unknown. That's a good thing. I don't need to know what's about to happen. Not knowing allows me to be more present today, to hug my husband, to talk to my mama, to text my sister, to do all these things because I'm not trying to wait for the shoulda, coulda, woulda. Wish I had called them. I wish I had told them that I loved them. I wish I had did this. Stop the shoulda, coulda, woulda. You are here today for a reason. Make the most of today. You want to learn to play a guitar? Go do it. You want to tap dance? Go do it. Be on Broadway? Have at it, kid, because this is it. This is where we are. Because after this, which goes back to my point about why it is great to do this Swedish death cleaning. So let's talk about decluttering really quick. For those of you who don't know how to organize, I'm gonna give it to you really fast. You want to trash some stuff that you're not using. You can sell some stuff that you could probably get some money from. Donate, because we have a lot of things. Again, I believe our society is big on stuff. House full of stuff, right? We have storage units full of items that we don't even know what's in there, yet we're paying mad money to store stuff. Imagine how much you could save if you didn't have a storage unit. Now, if you're in between moving, that's different. But at a certain point, if it's been there for 4-5 years and you're just like, might want to let it go, might want to let that go. There are some things to keep. There are definitely some things you want to recycle. And then lastly, simplify your life. Simplify. The idea is to get better with this. Like, let some of this stuff go and create a dedicated space for these items, what you choose to keep. Make sure we have a dedicated space for those things. So as we're going through this, we're looking at how to simplify and make things a lot easier for ourselves. I swear to God Almighty, there's always something that is happening here. All right, let me stay focused while all of the whatnot does what it has to do. If by chance we kind of skip for a second, just work with it. Okay, so let's talk about simplifying things. Now, really quick tips on it. I typically create piles on trash, sell, sort, donate, what I'm going to keep, right? And recycle. I typically don't do a lot of selling because it takes time. And if you don't have the time to sell it, just give it away, right? Just go ahead and give it away. That would be so much easier than having to take the picture, find the platform to sell it, write up a description of it, go back and forth with people about how much they want to pay for it. I mean, it can be a lot. So I just say sometimes it's just best to give things away versus trying to sell them, especially if the person you're giving it to needs it. And that could be donations, or it could be gifting it to somebody who you know or someone in your family, right? Like that would be an amazing thing to do. Oh, let's see. Okay, well, we'll let it figure out how to get itself back up. So on to that. When you're going through all these things, and there have been people who have said, hey, if it's like a season or a year old or 2 years old, you want to go ahead and get rid of it. Like I said, I purge twice a month because sometimes things are cute and then sometimes they sort of lose it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Looks like our system is playing catch up for a hot second. We're going to see what happens. Let's see there. Okay, well, maybe. Okay. Here's the blessing too of going live. Anything could happen, right? Any and all things could happen when you go live. You have to love it. You have to love it. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're going to keep moving because we're going to keep moving. That's what we do. Absolutely love it. So let's continue here really quick. Let's get this back to where we were since we're having some technical difficulties, but we don't mind it. The idea is to simplify your life. That's the idea. When you start letting go of all these things, right? Then you get to have a more simpler life. You get to enjoy yourself more. So let me go back to this really quick. As I was saying before, when you're gifting people things. Now, think about the common way that we do stuff. A lot of people are waiting for their loved ones to pass away so that they can inherit X, Y, and Z. You will never get to see the joy on their face if you're not here to go ahead and give it to them. So if you were to give them that gift today, right? Give the person who wanted your glassware, give the person who wanted your extra camera, maybe it's a laptop, maybe it's dishes. It could be anything. I'm looking around my home like, okay, what else can I give to somebody that I'm not going to need right here, right now? There's a young lady. We have worked together. I was her manager back in the day and we have stayed in touch. She was at the house and she was like, oh God, gee, I would love to have those kinds of goblets in my house one day. Now, these are pieces of glassware that my granny had, my dad's mother. She loves glassware too. Beautiful black ornate goblets. I've never used them. Never, not once, never used them. And so in the midst of starting my Swedish Death Cleaning, I said, you know what? Let me ask Rachel if she wants these glasses. And surely enough, I said, Rachel, do you want some of these? And she was like, yes. Sent them to her. She is happy as a clam in high tide, right? We could see the joy on our loved ones' faces today if we go ahead and get rid of some of this stuff, right? It could be dishes. It could be clothes. It could be shoes. It could be jewelry. Give it up. What you gonna do with it? You can't take it with you. And once you're gone, somebody has to take care of it anyway. So go ahead and give it up. Give thoughtfully. If you know that you have something that's going to help somebody, I had a dear friend who was going through a time and needed to be centered again. He was like, hey, I want to know about a really good camera because I want to get back into, taking photos and sharing my art again. I'm not working, but whatever you can find, let me know. Now, I already know that if you're going to get something, even if it's $100, that's a lot. All right. $100 is no small thing. Hear me clearly. In the midst again of cleaning, I said, you know what? I have this extra camera and lens, speed lights, batteries, a case. I was like, dude, take all of it. Because he needed that blessing. People, this stuff right here. Think about who you could help today. We ended the year with 5 bags and 2 boxes of stuff to go to one of our local charities. Don't need the stuff. It was home goods, all the things. I was like, get it out. Just take it. We are not done yet. I am not done yet. Not yet. So we shall see. Let me get some of these comments really quick because, we had this minor technical difficulty. And I don't know what's going on, but it don't matter. It ain't gonna stop this show, baby. So David says, fear can motivate with a clear mind and path. It can. I always go to what else could be true, right? And I don't do I'm a 70s baby. I don't understand the fear of missing out. Because we didn't have a DVR or a VCR and all this stuff. Like if a show came on and we missed it, we just missed it. So maybe it's my upbringing that gives me this. All right, we got Dr. Tachi saying, hey to Ron. We have all the people sharing their salutations. Isla is in the building as well. She also says here that I cleaned up my mom's home after she passed away. And I swore my kids would not have to do that. I'm still working through things a bit, but this is great advice. It is. People, it's a lot. Think about it. Again, depending on how you feel about death and how you have prepared for what is going to happen, for some people, it can be overwhelming to deal with making the arrangements, taking care of this, taking care of that. And now I have to clear a whole house out. That's a lot. It is a lot for anybody. I recall helping my aunt go through my grandmother's home. Grady had a whole closet of lingerie. I didn't see that one coming. She also had a closet with some furs and shoes that she had never worn. They still had the receipts inside. My Grady had some stuff. But it's a lot to have to take care of that after you have cared for someone. And it's just, do your loved ones a favor. Get cleaning, She said, I've been giving things away on the Buy Nothing group. Oh, okay. I had a nice bike I haven't used, and the people who came and took it were so happy. That's what I'm talking about. Imagine being the person to see that joy. Like, don't you want to see your siblings, your loved ones, your friends? Don't you want to see that joy in their eyes today? Because when you're in the box, now I'm getting cremated, but when you're in the box, you're not going to see it. Like it's over. It's over. You're not going to see that joy. You're not going to see it. Why not do it now? Now, here we are. So you can create a memory box, but this particular box, this box is for you to keep memories, but you also leave a note that when you are done, that it just gets tossed away. Right? So you're putting all your memories together to say, hey, this box, just throw it away. This is the throwaway box. Now your loved ones may still go through your box. Okay. Now I was telling my mama, I still have my 7th grade journals. Mr. Macy was his name. He had a candy store in his classroom that he would only open up during the break in between periods. But I still have my 7th grade English journals and a couple of diaries. You could leave them. I suggest burning them, even though you won't be here to see anyone's response if you talked about them. You may not really want that hanging around in their head. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go ahead and get rid of that stuff, But I was going through, I have a couple of memory boxes. So I found a couple of things. One, a picture of me and Michael Stipe. Yeah, that was 1994. November. I had a roommate who loved Michael Stipe. We stalked Saturday Night Live. We couldn't get in. We got in the line too long. We didn't get tickets. We went to the after party outside, still didn't get anything. And then there was another after party. So we are on the streets of New York at 2:00 in the morning, watching every limo come by, trying to get a picture with Michael Stipe. And we finally got it. And then I thought, wait, I've been out here the whole entire time too. So let me get my picture with Michael Stipe. You know what I'm saying? I also found in my memory box a $2 bill from 1976. I don't know if it has any value besides being $2. Who knows? Jesse Jackson. Remember this? 1988. Jesse? Yeah. Jesse Jackson, 1988. Now, I don't know if anybody even cares about that. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I have my... my patient band from my biopsy, my senior year. I have that because like who needs that memory, right? And then there's this sales advertisement. It's from Joskies. For those of you who are in retail who know about this store, Joskies was a really great department store that we used to go to. It's now Dillard's in certain cities. But why I have this Joskies sales ad for jewelry, I can't tell you, but I can tell you this. Some of this gold stuff was like $30. These were some really good prices back in the day. $1,500 for a diamond bracelet. Okay. Again, don't know why I have it, but I have it. I've got keychains. I have a ticket stub from WWE. I have my 1997. Well, take it back. It is the best of 97 for 1998 mixtape from DJ Arson in Brooklyn. I do have a cassette player. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I was rocking this today. Oh, man. The memories. I need to get it digitized. That's what I need to do. I need to get this digitized because this is a really good mixtape. I actually have 2 other mixtapes too. So I don't, these are the memories that we have in this box. You've never heard of the Swedish Death Cleaning? Okay, well, there is a book. I did not bring her name. Forgive me. I'm going to put it in the comments. I'll put it in the description as well. But there is a book about the gentle art, I think, of Swedish death cleaning is what it's got. But what can I tell you? Dr. Tachi, these keepsakes. Okay. There's the rubber ducky from a contest that I was in with the fire department in Coppell, Texas. They would come out to raise money. You would buy your duck, and then they would get the fire hose, and they would throw water to push the ducks to the other side of the lake. I didn't win, but I was number 35. I know that much, right? There is this beautiful note from my friends when I moved. They all signed it. With a beautiful message. And I thought, but when I tell you now Ron knows about this. The Container Store, we love our employees. Ron knows about that. I got a couple of those in here. There's a barrage of stuff. I was looking at cards from people. Well, from when I bought somebody's Girl Scout cookies. I don't even know who that child is. I was like, whose kid is this? There's no name on it. There's no name. I don't know why I have it. I do have, and I'm thinking of Ron when I see this. When I left my job in New York City, I still kept my badge. So I have my badge from when I worked in New York. There's a lot of stuff here. This will all be trash within the next couple of days. Most of it. I'm going to have my throwaway box to put stuff in. So when I go, they will know what to toss out and they can do whatever. I still have my Phi Theta Kappa card, and I have my check. I have my check from when I had, I was donating money to the HSPCA, and I had my bunny on my check. Remember, y'all, when we had checks that were like personalized? Am I the only one who remembers that? When you can do like pictures and things. I mean, here is the point of all of this. When you have taken the time to get yourself together, you're going to have a more simplified life, right? Like that's the whole point. The point is to make it easy, not only for you, but to also make it easy for your loved ones. This society, in my opinion, we are obsessed with stuff. And, I don't believe we recycle enough. I don't believe we understand that the fast fashion is not a great thing for our climate. This is a whole nother topic, but I'm sorry. We just got stuff. And we just think about throwing things away and getting something else. It's like, let's try recycling. Let's try donating. Let's just go ahead and live a legacy of less. So you're not hustling and grinding and whatnot for something that's going to give you value for all of 15 minutes? I don't know. Now, I just happen to be, I believe, one of the family historians. I am looking at 25 photo albums. 25 photo albums. And then over here, back to where you guys can't see, is another collection of DVDs that I had my dad's film made digital. I don't know what happens to that. I don't know what happens to all these photos, but this is that conversation. What happens to all of that stuff? Now, I do know, before I wrap this up with these technical difficulties and things, when I left my apartment, my brother said, I don't need any of this stuff. Take this stuff. I was like, okay, Jonathan, I'm going to take myself out of this apartment. He said, but wait. Can you leave that photo frame of us and all the, and can you also leave that picture? Because I really like that picture. I am short a couple of family photos because a certain somebody who didn't want my stuff took my stuff. Okay. So there may be some sharing of family photos, and I have art and things, but there is a barrage of photos. I was a family historian. I took my camera everywhere. I don't know what happens to that. I don't know. That'll have to be a question there. Yes, we have too much stuff. We have more than enough. And it really does come down to, okay, wait a minute, hold up. Let me come back to that, right? Hold up. And yes, thank you, David. It does cause anxiety. Get rid of the stuff, get rid of the clutter, and have a better life, a legacy of less. And I'm going to say this real quick since you brought it up. Those were my spices, okay? Those were my spices. That was my colander, okay? I left you plates, dishes, flatware, but I want my spices. Yes, I took them spices. You're darn right I did. I took them. Ain't no qualms about it. I took my spices. Here is the deal. We will leave in the description and also in the community tab, we will leave the book, The Gentle Art. I believe it's The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning. I highly advise all of you to think today about what happens with all of your stuff. Make it easy on your loved ones, and then you will also have a life of less, and you will truly enjoy the few things you keep a hold on to, right? Consider that. Consider it. So I want to thank you all for tuning in today. You know, I took my mirror too. You know, we're not going to have this conversation. We're not going to do it. I'm not going to have this conversation. But I am highly advising you, along with all the other things you have to think about, right? Your will, maybe you need to get a power of attorney, whatever your medical wishes are, get all of that together. And then start living for today. Like, look around your home and say, what do I need? And what can I part with? Because a lot of it is just extra stuff. I have a host of mugs that need a home. You guys know I have a mug collection, but there's some in the garage that I don't have space for. They need a home. If you want a mug, let me know. I will send you a mug and maybe some other stuff. Siblings are the best. Yes, they are, Isla. Thank you, Mother. Thank you. I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you have not already, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. All right. It's Friday. Enjoy this weekend. Be safe. And my last thing, and I mean this seriously, because, you know, the tragedy that we saw earlier this week, where there were people who were going about their day, you know, doing what they do, thinking, I'm going to get on the ground and go do X, Y, and Z and call so-and-so. We are not promised the next minute. Technically, we're all a second closer to our death, technically. But if there is anybody you want to talk to today, if there's anyone that you want to put your arms around, do it today. We are not guaranteed tomorrow. But we have the blessing of knowing that we are right here, right now, in this moment. Make the most of that, right? So hug your loved ones, call a friend, be safe. And I will see you all next week. The good Lord allows. Deuces. Maybe, because I don't understand why I can never like in my streams. I don't understand. Let me try it again. Goodbye. Hey, it's G. Thank you for watching this episode of Guuuuurl Listen. Be sure to catch me every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. And while you're here, I cordially invite you to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you all next week.